Live already, folks. Welcome here to LNTV. We're coming to you live from the parlor of the Executive Mansion, and Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana is about to address members of the press.
Welcome to this special edition of our weekly press briefing here at the Executive Mansion on Fridays. Today is Good Friday, and we're wishing all of our Christian brothers and sisters wonderful celebration of Good Friday. This is April 18, and however you're listening to this broadcast, whether you're following online platforms, on radio in the counties and other places, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of our weekly press briefing here at the Executive Mansion in the foyer. This week and the week before now, I've been really busy for His Excellency as he continues to do the work of the Liberian people as he was elected and duly inaugurated to continue on that footing. Every day when the president wakes up, he thinks, love, and respectfully talk about building Liberia in all of his action. Before this week, we also like to, on behalf of the government communications team, that is ourselves here at the Department of Public Affairs and the Office of the Presidential Press Secretary, as well as the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, thank all of our media colleagues and partners for your support, for coming in your numbers to be a part of the first annual media dinner called by His Excellency the President to be able to engage with all of you to speak on issues of coordination, cooperation, but more so looking at where we've come, how far the relationship have gone. And this is the first one for the administration, and the plan is to do more. So we'd like to thank all of you who took up your time and came and participated and attended and spoke on behalf of their colleagues. We also would like to thank the entertainers who were there to add some flavor to the activity of last week. The president expressed his appreciation to all of you, and he looked forward to doing more of such and engaging further. As we have said before, the engagement was the beginning of doing more with the media, and to continue on that footing, the president will be engaging media institution in the coming weeks and months. So we look forward to our continued engagement. We would also like to again thank the Executive Mansion Press Corps, all of you, your presence, but also your continuous coverage and support for the work that we do here at the Executive Mansion. As I started, the president had a very busy week, and he continued to receive updates from the different line agencies, but more so SOEs. And this week saw the presence of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. The team there came and provided update as to where we are on the line of their plans, as well as the Liberia Maritime Authority. They were both here updating the president on the different activities and the workings that they're doing in that area. The president did express some concern and wanted to ensure that they can work really fast, work really hard in terms of ensuring the workings are ongoing. The president also did open the rehab market. As you know, the rehab market was under construction by this administration, and due to its dilapidation, the president and team felt that it was important to do some renovation works and really give it a better look for our mothers and brothers and fathers who were in the market. So during the course of the week, the president did go there to do the official opening after the renovation. The renovation included restructuring, looking at removing the roof and building it, putting in office space, putting in inside toilet facility for the women, people in the market, also electricity and fans, to ensure that the market is conducive for the women and for the people who utilize the facility there. So on Monday, the president did open the market, and the women were very, very happy and excited. And also, it helped to remove some of the people who are in the street selling right on the main road. So if the facility is there, there's a need for people who are selling on the road to be able to come into the market, so that they are able to continue their activities there. The president also did attend the official engagement with the Ministry of Finance, Development Planning, and team to really talk about strengthening partnership for the implementation of our national development agenda, that is the arrest agenda for inclusive development. And that meeting brought together partners, development partners, NGO, civil society organizations, and development practitioners, basically to really look at our development plan, but more so to re-energize and re-strategize, especially in the wake of a drawdown of resource mobilization efforts from other partners. So just to relook at it and see how we can realign in structuring our development priorities so that they're achievable. And that meeting was held, the president did speak to the partners, encouraging them that there's a need for us to, even as a government, to work really diligently to achieve the goals as outlined, in the agenda. And the president will, on April 21st, 2025, travel to Accra, Ghana, on the invitation of the president of Ghana for the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS. And that meeting is expected to bring together heads of state of ECOWAS to attend and talk about the impact and role that our various countries have held, and what's going on within the regional bloc. And on the president visitation, he's going to travel and return on the 23rd. While the president is away, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Honorable Sylvester Grisby, will chair the cabinet in consultation with the vice president and the president via telephone. Also, as we know, the country is preparing for the Nimba County by-elections. As we know, activities are currently ongoing. The president extends his best wishes to the people of Nimba County to turn out in the numbers to cast the ballot for their candidate of choice. And the president asks that I convey to all of you that he hopes and prays and asks that all of you in Nimba County, conduct yourself in a very peaceful manner, and encourages the National Elections Commission to ensure that the election is held free, fair, and transparently, and that the right thing is done, and that all persons involved must be given the actual need that they need to do there. So to all of you in Nimba County, we wish you all the best. Conduct yourself in the best way possible. We ask all of you and pray that you have a free, fair, and transparent process, and wishing you all the best and may the best candidate win. That's the message from the president, and he asks that I convey this to all of you. Again, thank you for coming, and I look forward to taking your questions. Should you have any, call your name, the institution you come from, and we will take your question. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Madam PPS. I'm Sylvester Tudople and work for the Spoon Network. Of recent, we saw Chinese delegation arriving into the country, and it was reported that they came based on the invitation or the invite of His Excellency President Boakai. Would you like to talk a bit about that? Essentially, we are also seeing the development, specifically rural development across Liberia, with special emphasis in Masarara County, the feeder roads. What's the president's impression about all of these actions, and is he really want to see all of these feeder roads connected before getting actively in the rainy season?
Okay, so I will on the issue of the Chinese delegation. It was just I have it here on the notes. So yes, the on the invitation of the president, the mayor of Shenzhen, China's technological city, was here as of an invitation of our president, and the delegation had an extensive engagement with our president, but also with our mayor and other members of our development community, especially the government. The delegation headed by Mayor Ying Wingzong of the Shenzhen city, they came and expressed their interest in supporting our infrastructure development, especially on the side of technology. And they're interested in seeing how the opportunities that are there can be leveraged. And the president was excited to also express his gratitude because President Boakai last year visited China, and he actually paid a visit to Shenzhen City, and this was a return visit as was promised then by the mayor. And the president was excited that they could come all the way here and express interest in supporting our technology sector, especially for our young people. On the issue of the feeder roads and road network, the president is really, because very recently when he had a meeting, the cabinet meeting that he did call out to or he appreciated the Ministry of Public Works and team for their hard work, the level of work they've put in place so far, and the workings on the feeder road, but also on the main road. As you know, if you went to RIA, say 2 or 3 months ago, if you drove on that road, if you go there today, you will see a major improvement. You will see the fast pace of the work. If you've been to the Douala end all the way to Broadville, going to St. Paul's Bridge, if you had gone there about 2, 3 months ago, if you go there today, you will see the different efforts that have been put in place. Similarly, across the country, in other parts, even in New Georgia, Chikizu Factory, and other places, the efforts that have been put in place by the team at the Ministry of Affluence is commendable. Even the president has expressed that, and he's looking forward to doing more. And the team from the Ministry of Public Works have also assured the president that a lot of things will happen prior to the rainy season. And also, let me mention the Mandina Rubber Sports Roll has also started, and there are a number of different things that are happening as we speak. So the president is hoping that at least we know the rain season is already here. It may still be challenging. All the feeder roads will not be completed before the rain, and there will be challenges. But development comes with challenges, and we are hoping that our people will understand that even to the people who the structures and spaces have been broken down to ensure that the road goes through the spaces, they should understand that development comes with some of those challenges, and that the bigger picture is what matters, and that's what's important. So absolutely, the president is impressed so far, but he's looking forward for the team to do more and to complete the work so that our people will benefit and will be excited of the work of what's happening. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Anthony Williams from the LBS. Of recent, regarding the government's decision to import to the country heavy-duty equipment, which we all know as yellow machines, as it's been called. Negotiations were made by the vice president, a process that also led to a reduction of the actual cost or the previous cost. But then, ever since that news ever since that news broke, we haven't gotten any details on when we expect now to see this heavy duty equipment in country. If there's any detail, from your end, I will appreciate a way to put it out here.
Well, Tony, the negotiations come in stages. And when you're discussing contract, in entering into a contract, it is stages before the beginning, the midway, and the end. And what has happened so far, and especially when you heard all the buzz, was that after the first news broke of the heavy duty mode equipment, was that the president did turn that process over to the vice president
Sure.
through a team that was set up by the president. And that team did go back because they had a specific team to renegotiate, look at the price, see possibilities of different places, whether we can have a reduced price and whatnot. And that team did work. And the excitement that you saw was that there was an agreement that the figure that earlier on had come has been reduced to somewhere around 22 to 23 million dollars. But I can say that the work is still in progress because, as you know, it's a process with the total number of 285. Yes, when we get to a point where everything is consummated and the materials are on the shade and they're headed for Monrovia, we will definitely let all of you know. But I can say we've made some tremendous strides in that. But the most important part is that it's not a cold case, it's active. The discussions are ongoing. Uh, I'm sure after the by elections, and very soon you guys will hear more updates as to where we are. But I can tell you that we are on a good course, and the machines will definitely come, and our people will definitely benefit. Especially so, the hope is that at least we can have, even if not all the 285, but at least we can have substantial number, especially as we head to rainy season, so that key roads can be made possible during the course of the rain.
Speaking of roads, my colleague here also made mention about several road projects that are ongoing across the country. Just today, we saw pictures of pavement taking place along the Sipo Bridge and Gabriel Toko Bridge area. Just yesterday, I was also on the Robertson International Airport Highway and trying to showcase the work that's ongoing. And I'm of the conviction Mr. President is also informed about how speedy some of these projects are ongoing. When do you expect to see Mr. President visiting some of these project sites to have a first-hand glimpse of what's going on, especially the Rough Highway that is fast, kind of speedy work ongoing there?
Oh, the president, in fact, prior to now, before the even conversation was happening, the president did visit the New Georgia end, I mean the chicken soup factory road, just to go and inspect. I think about, I would say maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, to actually inspect the status of the work was happening there. So he will do that. He will do some on-spot visits. He's looking forward to checking not just RIA, because of course, obviously when he's traveling, he will go through the road, but he will want to go other places to actually see how the road is happening. And he was actually on the Bomi end when he last visited Bomi a couple of weeks ago, and he saw how far the work is ongoing. But he's looking forward to doing more of that, and just being there, even engaging the contractors and the casual workers and others to do that. Besides just the road, he's also looking forward to visiting other projects. There are a number of different electricity projects happening as we speak. There's an expansion of the electricity project towards the Simcoe Bridge, going all the way to Pearl River end. They running the lines, going on that side. The expansion other places to solar conversation as to the solar plant that started to inspect those. So there are a number of high core projects coming on Parliament. And that was some of the things that he even have been discussing with these different sector ministers as well as SOEs, and he looked forward to doing more of those. But the president is upbeat about what's going to happen. Yes, from the beginning, things were a little slow paced, but he really have told his cabinet ministers that I'm going to evaluate you based on the performance that you do. This is my agenda. This is the performance contract that you signed. You say by this time you will do this, and we are looking forward to achieving that. If you can achieve it, we will be able to take further actions against you and your team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much again, Sylvester, to the plate. I'm still concerned about the F-moving machines, yellow machines. Looking at the FQ dropping from 80 million to about 22 million. How did the government, come to that from 18 million to 22 million? That's a very wide range there. If there, what's the result of the deduction? That's one. Two, about 2 months ago, the president suspended several public officials, but those officials are now seen working. Has the president forgiven them for which they are actively still working in their private offices? That's two. Number three, the president's vehicles. It has been in the public that the government spent a lot of money, for those vehicles, two vehicles specifically. Do you care maybe to give any account that cost attached to the vehicles to get clarity about the president vehicles? Because people are saying the president earlier on said that he could use wheelbarrow to even get at his office, and now he's getting new vehicles. So you would like to talk about all of these things. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvester. I'll start with your question on the earth moving equipment. The earth moving equipment, like I said, is an active conversation. And it shows you how our people are very strong when it comes to understanding the negotiation skills. So when the initial conversation started of the need to have this, the president set up a team to say, Vice President, here is a committee, work with these people so that you all can come back to me with something that we can work with. So it shows how strong and how in depth our team was in terms of negotiating and finding the possibilities. If you're selling this for this price, where can we find a better quality or even with a reduced price? So yes, it shows that our team did their very best to come, to that. And again, from the beginning, yes, there were challenges. That's why the conversation started. That's how the president took seize of the matter and forwarded it to the team to be able to review, to be able to come up with something workable. On the issue of as you mentioned, the result of the reduction, that's what happened. And it shows that our team had good negotiation skills. In terms of the access declaration, people who were suspended for a period of 1 month, we've said here a number of times that those who were suspended and were specifically asked to declare the assets, the salaries were withheld for that period. And majority of them have, declared, and upon the declaring of the assets, CSA did review and provided update to the president before the actions were taken. So if you see some of them actively working, it means they've, completed, what was expected of them. As to the president's vehicle, I've said this, I think it was during our last press briefing, that before leading to now, the president inherited the former administration presidential motorcade that was assigned to the former president, and our president was using that. But the vehicle that the president was using had developed some challenges, some issues, and even at one point, the vehicle broke down with the president. And for a president, security risk, the necessity, and all of that was very important at the time. And it was when the Executive Protection Service that is responsible 100% to protect the president and other key VIPs thought wise that it's necessary to procure vehicles and be able to replace, what the president was using. And EPS went ahead and procured that, and that procurement process started, way earlier on. And then the Vigo just only came to the country recently, the ones that were procured. So in terms of the cost, I did say last week that the administrative composition, cost, the company, the make, and all of that, EPS has the details on that. And for obvious security reasons, we are not allowed to disclose as to the kind of the module it's made of, for obvious security reasons. So I will advise should you need specific, information as to and speak with the team at the UPS. They will be willing to, give you information that is not classified. So if there's no other question, I want to thank all of you this afternoon. And wishing you all a wonderful Good Friday. Be good, don't do no bad things. but it's been wonderful having all of you here. Good afternoon and have yourself a wonderful Friday. Thank you very much.
Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana addressing members of the press here at the Executive Mansion. She highlighted several issues, including Mr. President's travel to Ghana to observe activities marking the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS. Also, made mention of some government interventions and projects. So, wherever you followed in Washington, we'd like to say thanks for following. My name is Anthony Williams. Bye bye for now.